Evelyn Hart, a young journalist from London, receives a mysterious letter with no return address. Inside is a single key and a note that reads, "For the truth you seek, midnight, Harrington Square." She has no idea who sent it, but the handwriting looks strangely familiar. At midnight, the usually busy square is nearly silent. Only the old clock tower stands awake, its gears groaning like a tired giant. As the hands strike 12, the ground vibrates. Suddenly, a hidden door appears at the base of the tower, exactly where no door had existed before. Evelyn uses the key to unlock the door. Inside, she discovers a vast underground workshop filled with clocks of every shape and size. Some ancient, some futuristic. In the center sits a grand brass timepiece taller than she is. Its pendulum swings without making a sound. An elderly man steps from the shadows. "You came," he says softly. Evelyn recognizes him immediately, her grandfather, whom she believed had died 10 years earlier. He looks exactly the same as he did the day he disappeared. "There is little time," he tells her, literally. Her grandfather reveals that he has become the guardian of a fractured timeline. The giant clock is the anchor that keeps reality stable, but someone has tampered with it. "You must help me," he says. "If we don't fix the fracture soon, time itself will unravel." As Evelyn approaches the grand brass clock, the air ripples like heat over pavement. For a moment, she sees two versions of her grandfather, one standing beside her, another across the room, vanishing like smoke. "The glitches are getting worse," he mutters. "Time is folding in on itself." On the side of the giant clock, Evelyn notices a small engraving, a crescent moon with a crack through it. Her grandfather stiffens. "That symbol belongs to the Chrono Syndicate," he explains, "a group determined to rewrite time for their own gain. They must have breached the anchor." Her grandfather opens a drawer and hands her a glowing parchment. As she touches it, the map unfolds into the air like a three-dimensional constellation of dates and places. A red fracture runs through it, pulsing with light. "That is the break," he says. "We must travel to the root, the moment the Syndicate altered history." At the back of the workshop is an archway made of interlocking gears. When her grandfather winds a small key into its base, the entire structure hums and fills with swirling golden mist. "Step through," he says. "It will take you to the first distortion. I'll follow." Evelyn steps into the mist and lands in a bustling Victorian street. The air smells of coal smoke and rain. People in top hats and long dresses rush past. Behind her, the time gate snaps shut. Her grandfather does not appear. Evelyn follows the cracked moon symbol to a narrow alley. There she sees a man in a gray coat adjusting a small mechanical device attached to the wall, a device humming with temporal energy. When he notices her, his eyes widen. "You're not supposed to be here," he snaps, pulling a lever. A burst of blue light erupts, freezing the world around Evelyn. Rain hangs in the air like glass beads. Carriages and people stand motionless. The man approaches her freely, unaffected. "The Syndicate warned us someone might interfere," he says. "You're becoming a problem." But before he can activate another device, a pocket watch whistles through the air and strikes it from his hand, shattering it. Time rushes back into motion as Evelyn's grandfather steps out of a ripple in the air. "You underestimate her," he tells the man in the gray coat. The Syndicate agent scowls and vanishes through a blink of blue light, leaving only scorch marks behind. "Come," her grandfather says. "The distortion is close. We must repair it before he warns the others." They enter an abandoned warehouse where a massive machine sits in the center, an early prototype of the time anchor, but twisted and corrupted by Syndicate tech. Its gears turn in impossible directions. A single glowing coil pulses violently, sending shockwaves through time itself. "We restore that coil," her grandfather says, "or the future collapses." Together, they climb the unstable structure. Evelyn reaches the coil, gripping it tightly despite the burning heat. She snaps it back into its rightful track. Time shudders, then stabilizes. The warehouse dissolves, replaced by the glowing map of time. The fracture is gone, but another appears, much smaller. Her grandfather sighs. There will always be threats to the timeline. I can no longer guard it alone. He places the key to the time gate in her hand. You can return to the life you knew, he says softly, or stay and become a guardian of time. Evelyn looks at the endless constellations of history swirling before her, knowing the decision will define not just her future, but everyone's.